To the Wu takeover.
Back in the days of rap now, making the tape now. Rap gotta get a break now. Ignorant and mad young. Wanted to be the one till I got bam and felt one. Yeah, my pop fitness bloodstreams. That's the
Oh yeah, what's going on, fam? It's your man VACAY-Jay, and yes, I'm back with another video. This is for Wu-Tang Clan, an American Saga, Season 3, Episode 2, All I Need. And yes, this one definitely was a more revealing episode. Before we get into it, make sure you check out the Episode 1 recap, and we are going to break down Episode 2 of Wu-Tang Clan, All I Need.
VACAY-JayTV.
So where did we leave off? We left off with ODB jumping out the window, and here comes Ree, and she's going to visit him in the hospital. The nurse is definitely feeling old dirty bastard. She's like, yeah, I need to see Russell Jones. She's like, ODB? Oh, tell him Nurse Ratchet is on the set, right? She's ready. But yes, she goes in there to see ODB, and she's like, what happened? He's like, I got this cat, and, I got this kitty cat. I tried to save the kitty cat, you know what I'm saying? And, I was just doing my thing, and, there was something coming after me, and these Mormons was coming after me, and, I just, I took the cat, and I tried to save the cat, and I jumped out the window. I mean, he is clearly telling a lie. Last episode, he was basically trying to cop something. Cops caught up with him, and he was running away from the cops. She doesn't believe him, but she's like, okay, whatever, listen. The fam is coming, the RZA's coming here to visit you as well. So he's like, listen, can you go give me a little something real quick? She's like, all right, I'll be right back. He goes into her pocketbook and takes the keys to her car, and he basically escapes out of the hospital. I mean, old dirty bastard is a wild cat, man. He jumps in the whip, takes off in her BMW, and rides off into the sunset. I mean, crazy. I couldn't help but notice King Combs playing his daddy, Puff Daddy, on the screen at the hospital, right? So Mecca and, the RZA's like, yo, yeah, he left, so, we got to do what we got to do. And, the RZA feels bad. He's like, yo, he left because I was coming. Yeah, we got to find him. And then what he does is he looks at, the chart that definitely shows exactly what he was in for. And he's talking about all the little products that he was taking in his system, that they found in his system from testing him out. So, of course, Mecca's just trying to be supportive. Here comes Divine. And he's like, yeah, we got to search the streets in Shaolin and all this and that. And Divine is like, nah, RZA, nah. We'll go back, we'll make some phone calls, and we'll see what's up. Of course, Mecca is just like, he's not listening to me, but he is listening to his big brother Divine, right? So they leave out, and yeah, RZA feels bad because it's like ODB is just falling off the deep end. Now back at the Wu Mansion in New Jersey, we got the fellas, and they talking about their concerns for ODB, and they're like, yo, he always is wilding out, but this time is something different, man. Something really bothering him, and a whole nine. And they talking about how he probably ran through his advance money and going to the clubs and doing all types of crazy stuff. And Power's like, listen, I'm going, back to Shaolin. Anybody want to come through? It's like, nah. Ghostface's main concern is that, yeah, he gets the car back, right? Get Cherie's car back because he bought the car. So here we go with Raekwon and Ghostface, and they talking about, everything that has to do with their album that they're trying to put out, right? Really Ray, right? Because Ray is going to be first up the bat with this deal, right? He has the deal in place, and they're trying to figure out what they're going to do on the album. So Cherie goes home, right? She doesn't have a car. She looks in the crib, and there's no baby in the crib, right? Because she left him with the babysitter. The letter says he refused to leave, so I took Infinite to my place. So what happened? Yeah, ODB came in and he crashed on the couch, right? In his hospital gown. So she's, talking to RZA like, yeah, he's here. Everything is fine. He's sleeping. And RZA, all he's really concerned about is really him making sure that he's okay, but also that he makes this big, huge electric meeting, because if they don't, they're going to have to owe Elektra like $800,000 of the advance money, right? Because there's no album in place. So Devon is talking about, yo, we got to get him to the meeting. RZA's like, yo, we got to push this off. It's not like, he's coming to my place and we doing tracks on the low. Like, we didn't do anything yet with ODB's album. So Devon's like, listen, I know you're going to make it happen. Yeah, the RZA is under a lot of pressure. And Mecca, again, is trying to be a very supportive girlfriend like she always has been. And she's like, yo, you need some relaxation, some rest and relaxation, not partying, not nothing like that. Just me and you will go somewhere and we'll just chill. Meanwhile, back at the mansion, we got Tony Stark, a.k.a. Ghostface, and you got your boy, Raekwon the chef. And they talking like, yo, son, yo, listen, son, you know what I'm saying? This is how we gonna do the album, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta sit down, we gotta watch movies, you know what I'm saying? So here we go with the RZA and Mecca, and they're on top of the Empire State Building. And he's like, yeah, I never been up here. She's like, you live here all your life and you never been up here? And he said, I never really thought this was for me. I thought it was for, like other people. So she's just like, yeah, I admire you. She loves him a lot. But she says, listen, as far as this part of, the journey, this is where the journey ends. And he's like, what are you talking about? She's like, listen, I've been patient. I've been trying to be supportive. But all you do is work, work, work. You don't really make time. You're not really coming to bed. And, she said, I thought long and hard on this, but I gotta go. Like, she needs to get out of there because she's the one suffering here. All he does is just think about albums and everything. So, unfortunately, Mecca bounced. Now, back at Cherie's crib, you got ODB. He finally wakes up, and Cherie is right there looking right at him like, And she's like, yeah, what are you doing? Like, what's going on with you? You can crash here. Your mother wants you to come home, but you can crash here. But, what's really going on with you? Like what's really happening, right? So he proceeds to talk to her about how RZA is treating him like he's a little kid and everything else like that. And he took the deal with Elektra and didn't even talk with him about it. And she's listening. And, she's acting like she's not mad at him. But he's like, why you not mad at? She's like, I'm furious. You took my car. You basically messed with my babysitter, which is messing with my child. And, now you here, wilding out. Like, you just bugging out. You know what I'm saying? She's like, listen, if anything, just wash my car, whatever, when you feel better. So he's like, yo, can I watch the TV? So I want to see what's going on TV. So he turns on the TV and he sees the movie from Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder, either stir crazy or see no evil, hear no evil, right? So he's laughing at that. So back at the Wu offices, U-God comes in to get his check. And he looks at his check and he's like, yo, why is it so short, son? What's going on, Shane? And he's like, well, you got to pay insurance, just in case something happens to you. And at the same time, there's other expenses, you could do the math. And he's like, all right, whatever. So he walks out and here we go. We got the remix of All I Need for RZA's approval. So that's the All I Need remix by Puff. So here we go with the, with the fellas, and they still working things out as far as the album. And the executive, the suit, they used to call them suits. The suit from Elektra comes just to check out and see exactly what's going on. He's like, listen, we need to push back that meeting again. And the executive's like, nah, we can't push it back anymore. You know how this goes. If you push it back, people lose jobs. So, we got to get on this. So he's like, okay, we'll see you tomorrow. So now, Devon goes to him. And RZA is just like, yo, man, Mecca left me and everything else like that. And Devon is like, yo, man, we going to win. We going to win. Don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? We going to make it. We going to be on top. We going to go to this meeting and we going to make it happen, period. So he's like, yo, do you want to hear the All I Need remix? He's like, yeah, who did it? He's like, Puff. So we all know you're All I Need, with Meth and Mary, right? So the next scene, we got Meth listening to it. Listening to the remix. Looks like they're listening to it for the first time together. And yeah, they're listening to it, and all the RZA can think about is his shorty, right? Of course, he's thinking about Mecca. Mecca held him down all that time, so he's just imagining, Mecca being on the TV right there. That's all he can think about, listening back to the song, hearing Mary sing You're All I Need, and the whole nine. And yeah, it's definitely a great remix. We all know it. We all love it. But he's reminiscent about, of course, his ex-girl who just broke up with him, right? So the RZA asked Meth, like, yo, what do you think? What do you think about the remix? And Meth is like, yo, I got a song with Mary, man. Anybody hating on that is just a hater. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy, right? Because it's a great remix. He's like, yo, it's far from, the original, but definitely, when I wrote it, I was thinking about my girl. And, RZA's like, yeah, I can relate to that. So now we got the fellas, Tony Stark, a.k.a. Ghostface, and Raekwon the Chef. They out in the woods. He's like, yo, son, yo, I could finally feel this Zen stuff, right? So they rapping out there, and Ghostface hears something. He's like, nah, I'm gone. We out of here. I get out of these woods. So here comes Power sitting down with Divine. He's like, yo, man, we trying to push this woo wear. And, Divine knows exactly what's going on with the money, that there's not a lot of money, but there is some money. He's like, yo, I found a spot for us to do a location to sell the woo wear, being that these other major stores are not trying to, have us in the stores. He's like, I don't know. It's not really the right time. But, Divine is like, yo, shoot, like, AKA, we don't got no money. But Power's like, listen, what's going on? With plaques on the wall, we got money in the bank, right? Like, what's happening? And Divine is like, yeah, man, you right, let's go. So now we outside the Wu Mansion, and we got the GZA rhyming to the RZA, and he's killing it, right? Definitely laying down the bars, and the RZA's like, yo, that joint is fire, man. That joint is hard, for real. So the GZA's like, yo, you all right? Yo, what's wrong? And pretty much the RZA's like, yo, I'm under a lot of pressure. ODB ain't around, and, it's not like he came through and did some joints. Like, we got to have like 10 beats by tomorrow. I got to make it happen. And he's like, yo, you are going to make it happen, man. You the Abbott, man. You the Abbott. You going to make it happen, man. Like, don't even worry about that, man. Once my joint comes out, you ain't going to have to feel all that pressure. So, that's his cousin right there. The GZA is the RZA's cousin. And he's letting them know, listen, we got you, man. You ain't going to have to deal with all this pressure. Don't even worry about it, man. We going to make it happen. Now, Ree brings over some clothes, probably some old clothes that, Ghostface had. And he's like, yo, you gonna have me out here in these streets with these rags? And she's like, yo, a simple thank you would do. You just like, infinite, right? You just ungrateful. And she's like, yo, you know what? People wouldn't treat you like a kid if you wouldn't act like a kid. You know what I'm saying? Why don't you grow up? And she basically breaking him down. She's like, yo, you out here being silly. You hurting yourself. And now you in the hospital. Like, guess what? People going to start respecting you when you start basically respecting yourself. And she really broke him down, let him know that he needs to grow up and be thankful and grateful for what he has, regardless of how he feels about the situation. So with all that being said, she walks away, he gets dressed, and what does he do? And he walks out, right? He gets dressed and he leaves, probably going to go to his house. Now, back at the Wu Mansion in the Wu studio, your boy's working on those 10 beats for the meeting for Elektra. He calls over to Ree's house and she says that he left. He's like, damn, all right. The meeting is today, so he got to go in there with those beats. So again, the RZA is under a lot of pressure. He hopes that, Elektra doesn't cancel stuff or whatever the case is, or thinks that they're in breach of contract, as then they're going to owe $800,000. The GZA comes through. He's like, yo, son, all right, you busy? He's like, no, I want to hear what you got. So the GZA's like, yo, man, I'm on a whole different chamber, son. You know what I'm saying? I'm in a whole different chamber with this right here. He's like, all right, cool. So he throws on the beat for Liquid Swords, right? The Liquid Sword beat. And he's like, ooh, so they about to lay it down, right? Lay it down. Meanwhile, Tony Stark, a.k.a. Ghostface, wakes up. He goes to Raekwon's room. He's like, yo, man, how we gonna make a freaking album, man? You know what I'm saying? With all this noise and dudes banging shorties. So Raekwon pulls out the Marvin Gaye album. He's like, look where they recorded it at, son. Look where they recorded it at, son. It's like, oh, Belgium. And Raekwon's like, yo, or Belize. Like, we don't got to be here and record this, son. You know what I'm saying? Like, we could be anywhere in the world recording this, B. You know what I'm saying? We don't got to be locked up in this house, son. You know what I'm saying? We could be anywhere, son. He's like, yo, for real, son. I feel that, B. For real, I feel that, son. You know, so I'm going to go pack right now. Man, he's like, all right, close my door, son. So now, they about to go to the meeting for Elektra. Divine forgets some paperwork, so he has to go back upstairs. While RZA is waiting on the street for Divine, who shows up? Puff Daddy shows up. That's right. Christian Combs playing his dad, Puff Daddy, shows. He's like, yo, what you doing here, son? Yo, I just bought that building across the street, son. He's like, yo, this is my office right here. He's like, word. Okay. He's like, yo, how you like that remix, man? The executives are going crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? They talking about getting a Grammy, and that's all I need. You know what I'm saying? And RZA's like, yeah, I see what you did right there. Son. It's like, yo, man, you know, they try to divide us in New York, man, but we got to stick together. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, when we going to do that collab? And RZA's like, yo, that's a good idea. He's like, all right, son, you know, we got to go to this meeting, this luncheon real quick, man. I'm going to get with you, B. I'm going to get with you. All right, Playboy? So he walks away, and RZA's like, just shaking his head like, all right, man, all right. So now we're in the Elektra meeting, like Elektra Records meeting, and the RZA's playing some beats. Of course, you know, Devon is trying to gas it up. They always like, all right, wait for the beat to drop. Boom, yeah, all right, see? And, you know, the executive was just like, yo, RZA, we know you make some great beats, but still, we don't know what the concept is. If we don't have the concept of what the album's going to be like, then we can't get the artwork going. And they're like, yeah, well, we got a concept. You know, we're not behind as much as you think we are. You know what I'm saying? We got the beats, and it's really going to be about, you know, ODB's personality. You know what I'm saying? It's all about his personality. So who shows up out of nowhere? He's like, so that's right, son. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be all about me. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be inspirational, son. So everybody's surprised. The RZA surprised. The Devon surprised. He showed up perfect timing as they're trying to find out. He's like, yo, do on the beat, son, so we can show him exactly what we about to do, B. So he start rapping, jumps on the table, you know what I mean? Does his ODB thing. And again, shout out to TJ, man. Yo, the dude definitely is playing a good ODB, and he's making the people smile. They definitely feeling it, you know, and he's going in. He's like, yeah, you know, and yeah, Devon, he's looking at the executive like, see, I told you, you know what I'm saying? And he's looking back at Devon like, yeah, I see. So, you know, of course, the RZA is happy to see that his cousin actually showed up, even though they haven't settled things. So he finishes and they clap, everybody claps. He lays down on the table, drinking a glass of water. And he's like, yo, I love it. I want more of it. We want more of it. RZA, ODB, that's definitely what we want. But I can't give you that advance that you're asking for right now. You know what I'm saying? Not right now until you actually deliver on the product. So, you know, that's how they do. Of course, ODB is disappointed in that because he was expecting an advance to get some money or whatever the case is. So now ODB is back at the mansion. He's at the mansion for the first time, actually. And Ugar brings him to his room. Ugar saying, yeah, you know, I knocked down 2 shorties up in this room already. You don't need a king-size bed, man. It's going to be all good. So ODB goes to see his cousin, the Jizza, and he's like, yo, listen to this, you know what I'm saying? So he's playing the Liquid Swords joint, right? And he's like, yo, son, you need a hook on that, son, you know what I'm saying? You need a hook. He's like, nah, I don't want to compromise the music. He's like, yo, you got to do it. Remember what we did a long time ago when the MCs came and picked out the names? He's like, yeah. So you gotta do it like that. And then they made up the hook right there on the spot. So now they go to the studio. They let the RZA hear it. And he's like, yo, son, that shit right there, B. That's it. When the MCs came, they picked out the, right? Y'all remember that, Liquid Swords, or y'all Wu-Tang fans, y'all know the deal. So he's like, yo, let's record it. And the Jizz is like, nah, y'all need to talk, man. Y'all really need to sit down and talk. So they sit down and talk, and immediately out the gate, the RZA says, yo, I apologize for not coming to you first and talking to you about signing to Elektra. You know, he's like, yeah, man, you should have talked to me. He's like, yeah, man, you can't be treating me like a kid, man. He's like, yeah, you right. He's like, yo, you can't be out there wilding, you know, it's time to work. He's like, well, you know, I'm ready to work right now. He's like, what changed your mind? He's like, yo, Cherie, man, you know, she got some wisdom in that big head of hers, you know what I'm saying? So they settle things up, they straight now. He's like, yo, what you think about that All I Need remix? He's like, yo, man, that could be one of the biggest records ever, but it's not Wu-Tang, you know what I'm saying? It's not Wu-Tang. So, you know, they talking about he wants to do a comedy album, but not like Richard Pryor comedy. So he pulls out Zodiac Blowfly. He's like, yeah, that's it right there, Shane. That's your one right there. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of stuff I'm talking about doing. So that's the end of the episode. And the next episode goes into ODB. I can't wait to break that down for you. So that is episode 2, the recap of the Wu-Tang Clan American Saga. All I Need, family. Let me know your thoughts on this right here. Did you feel this episode? I definitely did, fam. Yeah, you already know what the deal is. If you found me for the first time, definitely hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. I really appreciate it. And if you're feeling this, you're appreciating this, definitely go ahead and drop your comments below. I appreciate you all for watching, and check out this next video right here, all right? Till next time, salute.